Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and tonight I just got back from watching the new Shudder film, Dangerous Animals. And, well, first, I did not know this was a Shudder film when I went to go see it. That's an app where you watch a lot of horror movies, and they, like a lot of streaming services now, have started making movies that just come out to theaters. They actually get theatrical releases before coming to the app, which is pretty cool. I hope more streaming services, maybe Netflix, maybe one day, start doing stuff like that. But anyways, Dangerous Animals. Yeah, basically it is a survival thriller. I don't know what other categories you want to throw in there. But yeah, basically what you got here. Jai Courtney plays this fisherman slash swim with the sharks tourist trap kind of guy, but he actually ends up trapping people to feed to sharks, and we see kind of behind the curtain as to how crazy he gets. And that's basically the premise. A woman gets captured by this crazy guy, tries to survive, and you just see how crazy he gets. And I gotta say, he does this role really well. He's funny and goofy at times, but then he's just absolutely insane and murderous at other times. And he's got, they explore it a little bit. He's got this strange obsession with sharks. He compares everything to sharks and sea life and fishing. And so whenever he goes on these like rants about people and life and all that stuff, it's always using the metaphor of fishing and sharks and different fish and all that stuff, right? Because that's what he knows, I guess. But he he's definitely got some interesting peculiarities, not aside from the murder of it. He's also got to do it in a very specific way, and he's got this like VHS system hooked up. That way he can rewatch these videos that he's made, and the way that sharks kill people, it's so beautiful. It's like an art to him, and yeah, he's just a real crazy, wacky guy. And I think for that alone, it's worth watching because he does really great in this. I will say, some of the other acting at times is pretty cheesy, and a lot of the you've seen a lot of these tropes before. If you've ever seen these like survival thriller kind of movies, you do see a lot of the same stuff. It feels very familiar. You have your protagonist who, she's got her own personal thing. She goes through her own arc throughout this movie, how she wants to be a loner. She wants to, she's used to everyone in her life letting her down, so she's out on her own. She doesn't have family. She doesn't have friends. She's a survivor. And so you have these parallels with her and Jai Courtney. But, of course, she learns to connect with someone, and there's a love interest, and, you kind of see where all this is going. But there is still the thrill of it all still works, even if you've seen similar tropes in similar movies before. How are they gonna defeat Jai Courtney in this movie? And I will say it's pretty effective. I enjoyed this one quite a bit overall. There are definitely some things where I'm like, well, that's a little plot convenient there. There is one instance where a shark definitely could have eaten a certain person, and then it just didn't, and we're never really explained why the shark didn't, because in every other instance in this movie, whenever a shark can eat someone, it does. But in this one instance, it did feel like, okay, is this some plot armor here? Like the shark just decided not to this time. That is one thing where I'm like, I don't know. Okay, fine, I guess they for the plot, we can't have this character being eaten right now, so I guess it just decided not to. I'm not hungry anymore, no thanks, and the shark swam away. So okay. But yeah, overall, parts of it are kind of hokey and cheesy and predictable, but I think the setup is interesting. The method of this crazy person's way of killing people is unique enough to where you're like, I can see this one being known as like, oh, it's the one where he feeds people to sharks. Like that, at least as far as I can remember, hasn't really been done yet. So I don't know, I think from that perspective at least, it's like, okay, this is a memorable enough movie with some decent thrills, some decent ways of people like trying to survive situations. There is one moment here where I'm not going to fully spoil it, but let's just say you think you know how this person's going to get out of these handcuffs, and you're like, okay, I see what they're doing, and then they do something and you're like, oh, I did not know you were going to do that to get out of these handcuffs. Okay. So let's just say there's a definitely something I've never seen happen in a movie yet. There's been lots of situations where characters are stuck in handcuffs. I think a popular one is degloving. That's like, I've seen that happen in a couple movies, like Gerald's Game has had that happen, and that's always gross when it happens. That's not what's happening in this one, so I don't know, that's a crazy moment there. But yeah, overall it's a fun thriller. It's nothing particularly special, and I don't know, you might walk away saying, oh, I wish the sharks had a little bit more moments here, but I guess Jai Courtney's a shark, I guess, in this metaphor that he keeps kind of forcing. So anyways, let me know what you guys all think about dangerous animals, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.